Mike Tancer and being at his house. So, so anyway, I had told him I was just tired, and Nanette, get down from there. Nanette, off. And I told him, I said, you know, I am really sorry, but I am extremely tired, and maybe we could just, maybe I could just sleep and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Or, you know, we can talk tomorrow more. And, I mean, I did kiss him a little bit first, just a little, but I was so tired. I mean, he was kissing me more than I was kissing him, and didn't really do anything else. I didn't want him to do anything else, but I had paid for 2 drinks on my own, and 2 drinks was pretty much enough to make me legally over the limit and unfit to drive. And then there were these Bacardi drinks that were in, and my drinks were in little glasses like this, the ones that I got, which is typically like a vodka and tonic, something like that. And then the Bacardi drinks were these big tumbler, like big glasses, and like 16-ounce kind of glasses, and I don't think I recognized how much alcohol was in them because they were so fruity. They had like a fruit mixture with them. So, I mean, I didn't really care because at the time that I drank them, I drank 2 of them. And at the time that I did, I don't know that I finished the 4th one because I was kind of really feeling it. And I thought I might get sick, and I didn't want to get sick. So, but you know, I thought that I was going home with Erica or whatever. I wasn't planning on any other thing. And just figured I might as well try it and then go home and sleep it off. So by the time I was at his house, I was really, really drunk, and not too drunk to not remember like what he said and some of the things that happened, but I was definitely drunk. And I don't believe he was drunk at all. In fact, he wasn't. I didn't see him drinking that many drinks, and he was not acting drunk in the least. I pretty much couldn't walk into his apartment without some support from somebody. I had to be helped out of the taxi and helped and walked and supported into his apartment. So he did not act drunk in the least. He wasn't slurring anything. He wasn't needing any kind of support. Did not act like he was intoxicated at all. And so then, you know, I was kind of, you know, I was just getting really drunk and kind of feeling more drunk by the minute and just wanted to fall asleep. So I was lying down on the bed. He said, okay, yeah, that's fine. So then he let me lie down in the bed, and I was trying to sleep. And then all of a sudden he kept trying things. And while I was lying down, and after I had said, okay, I'm just going to sleep right now, he then began to say that, well, he began to proceed to do things that I had told him I didn't want to do. And he didn't have like, sexual intercourse or anything. Didn't do that to me, but he did other things, and all of it was not stuff that I had told him that I was comfortable doing or that I would have done. And in my book, and according to the law, it was rape, because I was drunk, and very drunk, and I told him I didn't want to do anything like that, and he wasn't. And then I know that he knew what he was doing, because the next morning, and then I slept, and I was just really out of it. And what I remember is either the second time or that time, the first time. I think it was possibly the second time, but it could have been his first time. And I'll have to think about it a little bit. But 2 men were walking out of his apartment, and I don't know where in the world they were coming from. I think they had been in his living room or something, and they were walking out of his apartment. I saw them leave and go out the door. And that was another thing that was really strange, because nobody told me that someone was in his place, and you know, what they were doing there when I don't remember anything. It's a little scary. And then how I know he knew that I had been drunk and he wasn't is he started going on and on the next morning trying to talk about how how much money he'd spent and paid for drinks on his card. You know, he was telling me that he'd spent $100 or something like that on his card. Because he asked me, he said, how much did you pay for on your card? And I said, I don't know, like $20, a couple drinks. And because I got like a couple of basic drinks and then I tipped really well. And he said, oh, he said, I spent like $100. And he tried to make it sound like he'd spent $100 and he had all that liquor himself. But who knows what he was buying and who he was buying it for. So so then he took me home the next morning, and then things got worse, I guess you could say. But this hat is really tight. Hurting my head. Then he, well, anyway, I think he then wanted to make it seem like he was, I think he was scared, actually, because he knew what he had done was wrong. And I think he was worried that even though maybe he had successfully done this government thing to me that all these different men were doing to me, and had made his goal or a target of me, I think that he was nervous about it, because the next time he called me, he started calling me incessantly, and I could tell that he was trying to make it sound like no big deal, and he was really anxious to have me go out with him again. And I believe that it wasn't because he was so interested in me. I think that it was because he felt if he could get me to go out with him again, it negated the fact that he had raped me. And I think that's what men do sometimes. I think, or not just men, women, whoever. I think that, you know, if someone does something, then they think, well, if I can get them to go out with me again, it won't look so bad. It won't look like they ran from me and it was a horrible situation. Because why did they come back to spend more time with me? So, so I actually felt really horrible from what had happened. I didn't leave his house feeling good. I didn't feel good the next day. I didn't feel good the whole week. I was really depressed, actually. And I just thought, why is this happening to me? Because I hadn't pieced together the fact that all of these men that these incidents had occurred with were government men. You know, these were the sons of government men who had repeatedly raped me and used these triggers to get me to go along with it and then have themselves sound like they weren't raping me. So this was, you know, but because I didn't remember any of that, I was starting to feel really bad about myself and starting to think, you know, why is this happening? And I knew I was raped, but I couldn't understand why I was having these odds. You know, why were my odds this bad? So, and then I just kind of thought with him, by the time that happened with him, I actually felt so bad about everything and all these things that had continued to happen to me, that I actually got back into this mindset of that I did with Josh Gatoff, thinking, I guess I have to stay with him, or I should, because I can't, there's no way I could have anything sexual to do with just even one more person, because this is like way too many times. Because I started feeling like maybe I should just try to work it out with him and be his girlfriend or something, and see if it went somewhere, because what was I going to do? Is this how it was with every single man, that I was just going to have them attack me, you know, or rape me when I'm vulnerable, you know, every single time? How many times was that going to happen, and how many times did I want that to happen? And then, you know, I wasn't supposed to go out with anybody at all. I was just supposed to be a hermit. So I actually started thinking that I should maybe settle for a relationship, possibly, that would come out of rape. And it wasn't the first time I had that kind of mindset. So, and I know that it has something to do with the government too, because one of the things they did all the time was have me pretend like nothing bad had ever happened to me, and to push it out of my mind. So anyway, he started calling me all the time, like at least once a day, but more than like a couple times a day. And I was always busy because I was working on some legal things and I was doing legal research. And I wasn't a clingy person, and I did not, you know, I had been interested in him, but I was also feeling really bad about what had happened and unsure about what I should do. And I had my goals. I wasn't going to let some guy get in the way of my legal research. So, you know, if I was working, I just told him I'm busy right now and I'll have to call you back. And I think that even though I didn't mean to do that, or like, I mean, I wasn't working on a strategy specifically, I think it made him call me even more. Either out of desperation to like hook me up with another date so he could get out looking like he wasn't guilty, or because possibly he was interested in me, but I don't really think he was interested in me. He was interested in a lot of women. And I think that I had been a target that he was probably getting money off of in some kind of a weird government bet. So I will talk about what happened when he finally did get a hold of me to talk to me more, and then what happened in the next time that I saw him. And then how that just ended up. Anyway, I'll talk about that the next time.